A scrutineer is the person responsible for calculating all of the callbacks and final results in Dancesport. The calculations are straightforward, and occasionally there are some more intricate rules that come into play if there is a tie. Though honestly, ties are uncommon because we have an odd number of judges on the judging panels. But there's no comp ever where the first place couple got first, and the second place couple got second, in all 5 dances, and never happened. Additionally, each couple is going to have dances that they're stronger in or weaker in. So you might win the overall competition, but maybe place 4th in Viennese or something. So yeah, that stuff comes into play. And we had a question from one of our subscribers about tablets. These are the devices you see the judges using at the competition when they're doing their callbacks, when they're marking their placements for the final. And they asked if this hardware is required by the dance sport organizations. In a nutshell, no. Here's why. Technology is fallible. What if one of your systems goes belly up in the middle of the competition? What are you going to do? Just cancel the rest of the comp when you have people flown in from all over the country? No, show's got to go on. At that point, you can go back to old school pencil and paper. And guess what? Back in the Stone Age, when I was competing, we didn't even see a computer at a competition, even up on the dais. It was all old school, physical paper, a pencil. The judges would stand around the floor on their clipboard and mark all the callbacks and write numbers in for the placements. And then we had what we called runners. You might see this in, for example, a professional tennis match this day and age. So it's someone that runs around the floor, and instead of collecting tennis balls, they're collecting these pieces of copy paper and running them up to the dais. So the scrutineer can take all these pieces of paper and then with their own piece of paper and calculator, calculate all of the callbacks. And in the final, using this big book of written rules, God forbid there's a tiebreaker, then it gets complicated to figure out who placed where. Now, of course, over the years, technology has taken over dance sport, just like it has any other field, okay? Now, related to that old school paper and pen stuff, first story time for you. I was competing at the Northwest Regional USA Dance Championships years ago. No computers, no tablets. I ended up placing 2nd overall. We were pretty disappointed, but like every other comp, we can wait around after the competition for them to take all of those sheets of pencil written copy paper and they would scotch tape them to a big whiteboard at the competition. So we go there to see, okay, well, which judges marked us or didn't mark us? Was it close? Well, we tabulated the results, and guys, the scrutineer did it wrong. We had placed first. It's just a simple math error, nothing political. We recalculated many times, kept coming up with the same results. Took pictures with our old school camera. Guess what? Didn't have camera camera phones back then. Have the film developed at the grocery store. Show these papers to our teacher. Recalculate. See how you won. Why didn't you say anything? And we said, I don't want to make enemies with that scrutineer. They judged other competitions. If I embarrass them publicly, this could hurt my marks in competition going forward. Zit. And it really sucked, guys, as you can imagine, especially since it was our regional championships. So all of our Dancesport friends are there. They think we're second, which I think most people seeing that championship level are like, oh, but you know what? When you get to that championship level, it's like being a runner-up for Miss America. No one remembers who you are. So yeah, there is definitely a benefit to the technology coming into play these days. Okay, second story for you, related to reliable technology. When scrutineering software first hit the Dancesport scene, it was a free-for-all. Anyone could show up to the comp with their software and have at it. And that was the first time we saw tablets come into play. Well, there was a major competition I was at where the scrutineering software failed miserably. And they had to redance some events. The organizer of the competition paid good money to have that software. So naturally, they're cheesed off. The competitors are mad. They ended up banning this particular company's scrutineering software at any of the NDCA sanctioned comps after that. Now, certainly there was a learning curve as we figured out how this technology is going to work. This day and age, the scrutiny software companies must be certified by the organization that is running that comp. Otherwise, the software is prohibited. Unfortunately, because they are paying good money for the software, they have to pay to rent those tablets. This does increase your comp entry fees. But it's worth it, guys. You do not want to be in that boat where I was. It reminds me of the 2015 Miss Universe pageant when the MC accidentally announced the wrong winner for Miss Universe. And then he's like, oh, wait. And then they had to take the crown off of this poor lady and put it on the head of this other contestant. Oh, Mamma Mia. So it's nice to know that the results that you're getting are actually what you were given. Okay, guys, so I hope you found that to be interesting. Thank you so much for your question. I think every week I'm done broadcasting. I've shared anything someone might want to know. And sure enough, you guys ask another great question and it brings, a bunch of fun stories to mind that might entertain you. And I love that. Okay, I look forward to seeing you first thing tomorrow morning for some more Things Ballroom Dance. Toodles!